I'm Alex.
And I'm Kris. And this is
Thanks, We Hate It with Alex and Kris. Oh, this one's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I've got a lot to say here. So today we're gonna be counting down our top 5 worst casting decisions in horror movies. And yeah, there've been a lot of bad ones. Like, I had to really sit and think because I had quite a few options.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I did too, because I'm kind of going through because it's like, okay, it's a good movie, but like,
that
Jesus Christ.
sucks.
Yeah, and then I actually do have a couple on my list that, where all, like, well, not necessarily all the movies, but some of the movies were just horseshit on top of the shitty casting, So it's not necessarily the casting made it bad, it was bad all around, you know.
Mine was just, I hated the casting. That was my only criteria in my list was, did I like them in that role? No? Okay, they sucked. So, yeah, let's get right into it since we're gonna have a lot to say.
Hell yeah.
What's your number 5?
All right, well, my number 5, oh God, Busta Rhymes.
So you want to be on Dangertainment? Let's see what you got.
I have him on my list too.
Busta Rhymes and Halloween Resurrection. What the fuck, guys?
He is on my list too. Yep.
What the fuck?
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I don't know if they were just so excited by the success of hiring LL Cool J for H2O that they're like, we need another rapper for this one. Because, guys, you didn't need it.
You definitely did not need to do that.
That whole cast was horrible, which sucks because I do like some of the cast. Like, I like Sean Patrick Thomas, because Save the Last Dance.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the characters were so boring and just... But the movie itself gets a lot of hate, and I think it's because the characters are just boring, so you don't care.
Yeah.
But think about it. For the time it came out, that was actually a pretty cool idea for a movie. Webcams were just becoming a thing.
Yes.
Reality shows were still in their infancy.
Mm-hmm.
This was a brand new concept and I really like Resurrection for what it is around the characters. I don't like any of the characters in Resurrection.
Like, they had the right concept, and I think, like, they really tried to capitalize, on the new technology that was being produced. And I think that's fine, and I think that was a great route to go, for sure.
But they failed in execution so hard.
Very bad.
So hard. Like, again, you've seen this channel, I love Halloween.
Yes.
But that was bad.
All right,
so my number 5 is actually Halloween as well, but it's not Busta. I have Busta at number 4 for me.
Okay.
So number 5 for me is brand new from Halloween Kills, Tommy Doyle.
Honey, what's wrong?
I hated Anthony Michael Hall as this character. And I touch on it in my review for Horrorland News, and I think it's because Tommy Doyle, when he was a kid, he liked comic books, and he was so nerdy the other kids picked on him.
Yeah.
And, like, you don't expect him to grow up to be the grizzled ex-cop type everyman that Anthony Michael Hall gave us. You expect him to grow up and be awkward, weird, stalker Tommy Doyle that Paul Rudd gave us.
Sure.
So, Paul Rudd being stuck in the MCU and unable to come back and be Tommy Doyle again I know it put them in a bind, but, like, I think they should have gone with another, like, goofy comedic actor for the role instead of going for that hard, because Anthony Michael Hall is a long way from his John Hughes days,
Big time.
So,
yes.
I can't. I hated it.
Yeah,
I hated it.
I'm going to be honest, I thought that was an interesting choice, too. When I first saw that film, I was like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it, because, like, the way he was, like, walking, I know, like, the scene where, like, he was in the car, or they thought he was in the car,
right.
And they're coming out of the bar, and he's, like, going around, and he's got the bat. I'm like, that just doesn't fit to me.
No.
It didn't fit the bill, and it just, again, I didn't hate it, but it was questionable to me.
For me, it was...
Yeah, I'm not...
You don't see Tommy Doyle from 78 growing up to be that Tommy Doyle. Mm-mm. That's where the disconnect for me was. All right, so what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Chloe Grace Moretz in the Carrie remake.
I'm with you. I have her on my list too. Yes. All right.
Damn, we're so fucking similar.
I actually have her tied with
Julianne Moore?
Yeah, with Julianne Moore for that same movie. They're both my number 1 pick, actually.
Okay.
Because, well, you go first since it's your number 4.
Well, the thing is, I just don't get the weird girl vibe from Chloe Grace Moretz.
Thank you.
I just don't.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Chloe Grace Moretz is a beautiful girl. And
who seems like cool and well-adjusted.
Right.
Like,
and very talented, and just, I just can't see her playing that type of character. And like I said, I'm sorry, but like she's super pretty.
Yeah.
And it's like she just doesn't give off that, you know,
Right.
I see her more as an actual prom queen than I do like, oh, I'm kind of weird and reserved and I grew up in a really stifling household, you know.
I'm not saying she should be with the other bitchy girls who are picking on, like, she shouldn't be
No.
with Sue and all that. Like, she should
kind of be like the neutral ground type
like,
of girl.
That's the type of girl that she puts off, is that cool, popular, everyone gets along with her type of girl.
Yeah.
So to have her set up as one of the most awkward, socially, you know, outcast characters in literature, doesn't work at all.
No.
At all. At all. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And then with Julianne Moore, you do not get religious fanatic from her. And that's what you need for that role to make it the scary role that Piper Laurie made it, you know?
She didn't bring that same energy at all.
I did not get, I got Mother, and then when Chloe went, because I can't even call her Carrie, but when Carrie finally stands up to her mom, it almost feels like she's bullying her mom, because Julianne Moore she's a mousy, meek presence, whereas Piper Laurie tore through that movie,
Rigid.
you know?
I think that was the word that we kind of stuck to.
Right.
Laurie Piper was just rigid, nothing soft about it, and Julianne Moore was just it was a lukewarm, cheap imitation at best.
At best.
Honestly, like it just, again, I couldn't believe it. Like the believability of both of those characters. Yeah, for sure, I couldn't do it.
I almost like the TV version better than that one.
Oh,
like.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little closer to the book, and it's
that is true. That is true.
The TV version was a little closer to the book. But again, I felt like the girl that was playing Carrie in the TV was that awkward, you know, I believe that girl got bullied. Like, I do not, if Chloe Moretz gets bullied, like, the rest of us are screwed. You know, like, if that girl's not pretty enough to not be bullied, then the rest of us are fucked. Like, I like Carrie the Rage better. Like, I love Carrie the Rage. I love that movie. You cannot convince me to not love that movie.
That's an interesting
Come at me, bro. Like, I love it.
You know, it's actually, like, I'm not really strangely enough, but, like, it really is a huge cult fan favorite. Like, there's actually a lot of people out there who love it.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
And the themes and the topics and toxic masculinity and all that
Absolutely.
that it discusses. You know, that the original kind of covers, but doesn't, you know, so other stuff.
Right.
But I think the Carrie Rage really focuses on it, and what's-her-face from Gilmore Girls, she did great in the role.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She played the mean girl on Gilmore Girls.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
Tortured Paris. Alright, so my number 4 was Busta Rhymes, and we've already gone over why. So what's your number 3?
My number 3... Oh, shit. Okay. We talked about this on one of the previous episodes. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 4.
Yep.
I don't know what the fuck they were doing when they casted that film. I'm already not a fan of Renee Zellweger as an actress. Mm-hmm. But Jesus fucking Christ, like, the scene that sticks out to me the most is when she's in the truck with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's, you know, the body of her boyfriend in the back. And he's like, you know, oh, look what I did. And she just looks in the window and she's like,
oh, God.
Like, it was just, like, you know, like, that's not the reaction you have, Renee. That's not the reaction you have. That's your dead boyfriend. By going, oh, my God. Right. That's, like, seeing like, to me that's like seeing like shit on a wall, or seeing like something really gross or really weird happen at Walmart. That's the type of reaction you go, oh my God, to. Like, not murder.
Well, to be fair, her boyfriend was kind of a dick, wasn't he? Like, if I remember correctly.
I mean,
like,
okay, I mean, that, alright, you know, fair, but like,
maybe she wasn't that sad that he died, you know?
But I just, weird. That's very questionable.
The whole movie's weird.
Yeah, and the part, like, the dinner scene where she just gets up and she's just like,
I'm leaving.
Yeah, she's just like, I'm gonna leave. And it was just the blandest delivery I've ever seen in a film.
Guys, it's so bad.
Like, I liked Matthew McConaughey better in that movie than Renee Zellweger.
I will tell you, he ate up the scenery.
He sure did.
He made a big old mess of it, but he ate it up. Like, it's not a good performance.
He took it very, very far. And I'm sorry, with a role like that, you kind of have to. So I give him credit.
Yeah. Oh, it was bad.
But for fuck's sake, guys, Renee Zellweger.
All right, so my number 3,
Yes.
Keanu Reeves as Jonathan Harker from Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh my god. I was really hoping you would bring that up.
Yes, of course, sir. If I may inquire, what in fact happened to Mr. Renfield in Transylvania? We can be married when I return. I have offended you with my ignorance, Count.
First of all, the accent. Guys, the accent is bad. So bad.
I don't understand.
Now, he cannot do... I love Keanu Reeves. Let me preface it. I love Keanu Reeves in anything he's in that is not based on classic literature. Because when he was also in Much Ado About Nothing, he should not be touching Shakespeare with a 10-foot pole, guys. He doesn't have the voice, the cadence for classic works at all. Like,
not a Shakespearean guy. And that's fine. Not everybody can do Shakespeare. And to be fair, Shakespeare's very hard to do. It's very hard. It is. You know, and he didn't execute it very well.
It's his voice. He's got that, you know, surfer dude, cool, I'm laid back voice. And it doesn't work for Jonathan Harker in Dracula. It didn't work as the sheriff or whatever he was in Much Ado About Nothing. It just doesn't work. Worked for Constantine. I did like him in Constantine.
Oh,
but he didn't have an accent there, so he was just like a literary character.
He's very talented, and he really kills it in a lot of roles.
Right.
But no, you're absolutely right. Anything classical, it's really just not. It shouldn't. It's not on his spectrum. No, he shouldn't be
at all. And the same goes for Winona Ryder, because she sucked just as hard in this movie, and she sucked in The Crucible. She's another one that just should not touch classic literature at all.
I agree. The Crucible was hot garbage.
Hot garbage. Yeah. Guys, she is so bad. And with both of them, again, I think it's their voice, and they look too modern, I think. They've got very modern looks about them. Like, she fits into Tim Burton land perfectly with her, you know, big eyes and all that stuff. But they both such modern looks, modern voices, that you immediately lose the believability when you throw them in a costume drama, you know?
It just doesn't work. Okay. All right. I had mentioned this on the previous episode. I mentioned this movie, Drag Me to Hell. Alison Lohman for the main character.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
She literally makes. This is the face she makes through the whole movie.
Yep.
And do you have any other faces you can make?
No.
And like, I'm sorry. I just don't believe her as somebody who's like a loan officer at a job where, you know, she's like, I can make the tough decisions, when she just says it really softly and like petite. And it's like, I do not believe for one second that this woman, you know, like really wants, you know, like to move her way up in a really toxic corporate world. You know, I didn't believe it for 2 fucking seconds. And through the whole movie, she just didn't seem like scared. It was more of just like,
she might not be a horror person. Like,
no, not at all.
Some people can't pull off horror.
She does not fit that bill at fucking all. And it's just, I couldn't believe it. I think she's a shitty actress. Like, I do, like, she's right up there with Renee Zellweger for me. Like, I think she's absolute shite, and I don't understand how she got so big into acting, because she's just not good. I don't know.
It's not like she's still around. Like, you know,
right,
not making movies right now.
Right, so. I just don't know how she got that part. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like that movie was just a hot mess production and then a hot mess result. So
no. She just doesn't know. She just doesn't really belong. She doesn't really belong. Okay.
So my number 2.
Yes.
Vince Vaughn, Norman Bates, Psycho.
That's my number 1.
Well, you stole my number 1, so.
Oh, there we go. All right. Fair enough. All right. Tell me why.
So we can, because, okay, first of all, Anthony Perkins, when he played Norman Bates, he was that soft, like, you wouldn't immediately suspect him of something. Whereas
No.
Vince Vaughn, you walk up to that guy and you're like, okay, where do you keep the bodies? Like, he's got a creepy look to him. So you cannot, like, it's hard to have that assumption of innocence at the beginning, first of all.
Absolutely.
Because he looks creepy. Like, the way he's, the chuckle that he does, like, everything is instantly would have me being like, okay, well, I'm going to keep going and find another hotel.
Yeah.
Like,
right. It just doesn't give off enough of a vibe for me either. And I'm sorry, but again, personal opinions here. Vince Vaughn does not fucking belong in horror.
No.
Like, he
God,
absolutely
no.
doesn't. And, like, the newer, perfect example, the newer film that came out, Freaky.
Yep.
Again, what is he doing in there? Like, he does not pass as, like, a killer, malicious type of character to me at all.
But in that one's more forgivable because that movie is meant to be like a comedy horror.
Okay.
Whereas Psycho, you're remaking a piece of classic film. Like, Alfred Hitchcock was a piece of shit. I hate him. But he
Fuck that
made
guy.
great movies.
Yeah.
And Psycho was one of them.
Yes.
Psycho set off a lot of the trends that came in the slasher genre later.
Lots of references, lots of nods, to Psycho. It was
Everywhere. All over.
huge impact on horror cinema.
So to take it, and I do appreciate what Gus Van Sant was trying to do. I like the experiment, the shot for shot, and he did say that this was more of a film experiment than actually a movie. I do like the shot for shot, but I don't think he cast anyone in that movie well, except for maybe Anne Heche. Like, I did kind of like Anne Heche.
Yeah.
But again,
She did
Julianne
okay.
Moore, I don't think she pulled off. Again, Julianne Moore, I think, is another one that doesn't belong in horror, because I didn't like her in Hannibal either.
Yeah,
She was not a believable Clarice Starling. There's another one that could have
No.
easily gone on my list. Because, yeah, I love Silence of the Lambs. I do like Hannibal. She's wrong for that role.
Right, and that's, like, Jodie Foster is, like, the only one I mean, of course, she was the original Clarice.
Right.
I mean, like, I get it, it's the original, whatever, but I just, the way she had that performance, I felt like, I was like, you should at least somewhat
They
fit
could have
that role.
recast someone who looked a little closer to Jodie Foster. If you can't get
too.
Jodie Foster back, at least give us someone who looks a little like her.
Yes.
Like, it's just, because it is supposed to still be Clarice Starling. Like, it's not, like, this is a new character. So, I hated her in Hannibal. Didn't like her in The Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't like her in Carrie. So, she should just, but I do like her in other, I like her in other stuff. So, she just stay out of horror.
There's quite a few of those, like, bigger stars who just, I don't know what it is. They just, I don't see them really fitting the bill for, maybe because they're so mainstream.
Maybe.
That when I see them in a horror film, I'm kind of like, what are you doing in here? Kind of.
Maybe, or maybe they don't like horror, because if you're not a fan of the genre, it will come across. Like, there've been people who are like, well, I did this movie because, I got cast, but I don't like horror movies. And it does come across, like, in their performances.
For sure. Yeah.
And so maybe Julianne Moore just isn't a horror person, but she keeps getting cast in these roles. What are you going to do? Turn down millions of dollars? Like...
And you can't blame them, I guess, but, like, it's like, you shouldn't, especially in horror, guys,
Right.
You should not just be doing it like, oh, I'm getting a paycheck.
But going back to Psycho, like I said, if you're going to do an experiment and see if you can remake... Because he did. He wanted to do every shot, everything, the exact same. He even found, the shower curtain to look as much alike as he could. The buttons on her outfit, like, stuff. He went full detail. If you watch, there's a documentary on the DVD. And it was interesting. But then he completely lost all of that focus and attention to detail when he cast it.
Yeah.
Because Vince Vaughn was not a good Norman Bates. Julianne Moore was not good as the sister. I can't even remember her name. Viggo Mortensen was not good as was it him? I can't even remember now. But, like, it just, the whole cast, nobody stuck out other than, I think, Anne Heche. That's who Viggo, he was Anne Heche's boyfriend that she was with in the beginning. I think so,
yeah.
And then he meets up with Julianne Moore it was Viggo Mortensen.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing was miscast. The whole movie was miscast.
Yeah,
But Vince Vaughn especially, because that's an iconic role.
You're right. It was just weird. Like, I don't understand why somebody, Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't understand it. I really didn't. And I really wish somebody like Freddie Highmore in the Bates Motel series was around at that time, because Freddie Highmore fucking kills it in Bates Motel. And he is so fucking good at that role. I mean, he's right up there with Anthony Perkins to me.
Right, exactly.
He's so good at it.
And that's proof that it's not just, oh, we don't like it because they're remaking the... No, we will accept stuff if you do a good job with it. Like, fans will accept it.
Like, my favorite movie is a fucking remake, you know? So it's like, you have to understand that just because it's a remake, doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. However, you do have to do it... You do have to do it right. You have to tweak it. Right, you have to do it with love. And something, kind of circling back, you know, with, like, the Night of the Living Dead remake, I watched an interview with Tom Savini and, like, a couple other people where they're like, what we tried to do is we kind of pretended that the original 1968 Night of the Living Dead, didn't exist. And we were trying to just make our own movie, and with our, like, an original screenplay or whatever. And I think... Personally, that's a really fucking great place to start. And I think it's a great ideal to have when you're writing a script, especially, you know, when you're following up or you're remaking something super iconic.
Right.
I think that's a great place, because if you focus too much
on what it was,
then there's a great possibility that's going to be shit. Mm-hmm. So, again, like, shot-for-shot remake of Psycho. Like, again, I get it. It was an experiment. But...
It didn't work.
Come on. You know,
failed your experiment.
It's literally just, again, shot for shot, but in color with shitty casting.
Yeah, with worse casting. No.
Why? What was the reasoning?
Yeah, it's just not good. Mm-hmm. All right, so your number one was Psycho, which we covered. My number one was Chloe Grace Moretz from Carrie, which we covered. So... I think that's about it then.
Ooh, we had some words, didn't we?
And a lot of agreement, apparently. We hate a lot of the same things.
Yeah, we sure do. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait until we have something where we're both like...
Yeah.
Like beach?
Right. You want to fight?
Right. It's like, or like the hill that you're going to die on.
Yeah. Well, I have a lot of hills to die on, so I'm sure we'll get there someday.
Oh, I'm sure. There's always more.
Oh, for reals. All right, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Have a good night and good fight.